All right, we're back. Ellen and I are here with Music City boxing coaches Cody and Steven. Cody, Steven, thank you so much for sitting with us. We're so happy to be here and excited to talk to you.
Yeah, happy to
Likewise. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. What is the weirdest thing that happened to you this week?
Oh, okay. Okay, well, the Titans upset the Baltimore Ravens yesterday. That was the biggest thing.
Definitely goes down as weird for sure because this team wasn't even supposed to make it. So
everything about the Titans recently
has
been on that.
That's definitely the weirdest thing. Hasn't really directly affected me, but I'm going back to, fifth grade Steve when the Titans went to the Super Bowl the first time. So it's nice to experience this as an adult. That's definitely the weirdest thing.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. So why don't y'all each tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into boxing, how you got to kind of where you are now?
I always wanted to get involved in boxing. I was a little guy, so even lifting weights and trying to build muscle took a lot of effort, a lot of meals, a lot of shopping, a lot of cooking, a lot of cleaning. Mm-hmm. And if you don't continue that diet and that lifestyle, then you lose everything. And I've just always been a naturally scrawny guy. And so I was like, well, there has to be something that I could do that would be fun, that I could use my size to my advantage. I've also always been a flincher or a scaredy cat. So, if you jump at me, I'll move really quickly. So I always wanted to get into boxing. And after college, I decided to give it a shot. So I was living out in Murfreesboro at the time. Got a few boxing lessons in within 6 months before I moved back to Nashville, where I'm originally from. And that's when I contacted the coach and owner at Music City Boxing, Justin Gamber. And I said, hey, man, I want to do this. I want to compete. And, that's at that time, I just had a lot of free time transitioning between jobs and careers. And I thought that this would be a lot of fun. And here we are 5 years later. And it's been an amazing ride. I got to meet Cody through this whole experience too.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing how it worked out. I was working on the road and out on a tour, and I was trying to figure a lot of health things out and try to figure out how I could get better and more fit and all that kind of stuff. And I was home and I was just Googling places on the internet, not even trying to go for boxing, and I found a few different ones, emailed a bunch of them. Steven responded on email the quickest. And so I was like, I've always wanted to kind of try boxing. I thought that might be cool. And we just had a lot in common as far as being in the music industry and kind of knowing my schedule. And he was just willing to work with that crazy, I might come 5 times a week. I might come once a month, And once we started, it was just an instant love affair. I fell in love with boxing when we started going, and it just kind of escalated from there. And then the opportunity came up for us to take it over with a couple of our other business partners. And then, the love for boxing turned into the ownership of a boxing gym. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. When I was in college, I dabbled a little bit with boxing. And what I loved about it, it's that gym in particular, but I'm sure boxing across the board, is a lot of it's in your head. A lot of it is just getting out of your own head and knowing that your body can handle so much more than you actually think. And when you get on a roll, I sparred a couple times, so I never really got past just doing the conditioning part of it. But it just made me feel so strong. Anything that came at me in life, whether it was in the gym or just in life in general, I could handle. I could dodge and dip if I needed to.
Sure.
I could hit it
No
back
doubt.
if I needed to. So I loved it, and I still box every now and then. I'm more into CrossFit now. It just was one of those things that made you feel so strong.
So you're part of the 1%. You've gotten in the ring and sparred. You're part of the 1%. Yeah. It's amazing. We always say that, boxing or knowing how to fight makes you more confident. And when you're more confident, you make better decisions, not just in the gym, but outside. So like you said, anything that comes your way, you have a better grasp on it. You have a better mindset and discipline of how to handle certain situations.
That's one of the biggest things about it too, is everyone thinks boxing is such a like a macho, intense, like crazy sport.
Yeah.
It's such a mentally
Some of the smartest
intense
people
sport.
we know, like it takes a lot to be a world champ, or even to be just a professional boxer fighting on TV in general.
Yeah. Yeah. That the mental health aspect of it, and understanding, if you're taking some bad situations in life into the ring, or just trying to get fit, but if that's what you're going to do, like just punching hard is such a small portion of it.
Oh, yeah,
And that's been one of the
absolutely.
greatest things, even when we're training people too, like they understand right away that, like, oh wow, we're going to deal with my feet for the first month.
Before you can throw a punch, we got to work with your feet.
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember that. I wanted to get in the ring so badly because I just was like, how hard can it be to just throw some punches? And then when your coach is smacking you on the side of the head, like with their pad, and you're like sitting there like, how did that just happen? And then your ears are ringing because you're just getting smacked in the head, like on both sides. And then it's just like you're getting more angry and you want to like hit back, but you're still messing up and you're not getting it. And then finally you do, and you're like, yeah, I got you. Like it's like such an exhilarating like
It's
feeling.
amazing because you realize you can take quite a bit. You're not going to break. You're not made of glass. It takes a lot. The head is very strong.
Oh yeah. What is each of y'all's favorite part about boxing?
Oh, I would say, my favorite part. I like the competitive nature of it, but not in a sense of competing with someone else, but competing with yourself.
Sure.
They always say that, you don't have an opponent standing across the ring from you. The opponent is you, because if nobody out there is going to work harder than you, be more disciplined, eat as good as you, train as hard as you, then they're not going to be able to beat you. Only you can beat yourself. And you're going to only beat yourself if you get lazy, if you slip up on training regimens, so you get too cocky, you get too comfortable and all that. So I would say just the competitive aspect and the self-discipline is my favorite part about it.
I think the best way to break it down, my favorite part would be the clarity and the chaos. Like, after being in the ring or while you're in the ring, from when you start and it's just chaos and all this craziness, and the more you do it and the better you get at it, the more you can slow down time while you're sparring with someone, in an actual match, or if you're just training, anything. But when you actually have that ability to slow down the time and really kind of figure out the things you're doing and understand the things that are coming at you while you're being effective, it is one of the coolest feelings there is in boxing. Like, just being able to make that transition from when you're scared and, like Stevie was saying, you're flinching all the time and not, being able to figure that out. And then when you actually can see it coming and slow down that time, it's one of the best feelings there is.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Poetic justice.
Hell yeah. I love it. What tips would you give to somebody, or like a client who's walked in and is like, I want to do boxing, I don't even know where to start?
First and foremost, you have to commit yourself to it. We have people who have come in who have been, professional athletes or collegiate athletes. We've had NFL players come in. We've had people who have ran track in high school and college. This is one of the hardest things conditioning wise that they've ever done. And it can be very easy to quit. We've seen people quit just after the warm up, a 9-minute warm up. And we tell everyone, hey, this is a warm up. Don't try to show us how well you can exercise. We'll get to that. Right. But I would say just being committed to it, saying that no matter what, I'm going to do this every day or X number of times a week for the next 3-6 months. Treat it like a job. You can't, there were so many times when I moved back to Nashville where, I would look for the slightest excuses, just getting off at the exit to where the gym was. I'm like, oh man, there's too many cars. I only have a little bit of time to get over. Man, I've been going so hard lately, I'll slip it. But nope. I would cut somebody off and get off the interstate, or if I didn't have any clean gym clothes because I forgot to do laundry the night before, I would bag up the dirty gym clothes, take it to my office that had a washer and dryer at the time, or you know what? I would wear some stanky shorts the following day.
I would just be that one just showing up smelly and dealing with it.
Well, the good thing is it's a boxing gym.
Yeah,
it doesn't smell
smells.
like roses,
Even if you got fresh laundry, you're stinking.
So I would say just being committed to it, just saying that I'm going to do it, because there's so much to learn in it. It's a lot of people haven't thrown punches before, it's a completely different skill set. You're literally taking, thousands, if not millions of years of human mental and physical development and going against what the mind and body want to do. For example, in martial arts, they teach you to use the body's initial reaction to deflect stuff. So for example, if someone's throwing a punch, you would throw your arm out to deflect something coming your way. Whereas in boxing, you welcome it, you bring your glove to your face and you absorb the blow and you move with it. So you're going against what the body wants to do. And so committing yourself to learning, and like we say at the gym all the time when new members come in, we say, this gym's different. This is 50% boxing gym, 50% classroom. So you're going to learn a lot. You're going to sweat, but you're going to learn a lot too. Yeah. So that, I would say, committing to it would be great for anyone who's looking to get in.
Yeah, thanks for doing that for me, because I'm changing my answer to that now. Because that's a very good point. I mean, out of anything with a new member, it's so hard to teach your body to do some of these things in the beginning. The way you have to stand, the way you have to look yourself in the mirror and try to, see what you look like awkwardly throwing a punch that you've never done before. And it's extremely frustrating. And, again, just what we were going back to earlier, man, people just, want to come in and think they're going to be badasses and, try to punch people and this and that. And it takes such a long time to, and not in a discouraging way, but in the right way. So you can figure it out, you can be healthy and you can be clear and you can do all these things. So yeah, I mean, commitment to the sport is, it's not a one-day thing. You don't just start running around a track and call yourself a runner. It's exactly, you gotta put that time in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I remember my first boxing class. I went and I threw up twice in the middle of the workout.
Good. That means you did it right.
Literally. and the coach was like looking at me like, this chick, she's not going to be about this afterwards. I was like sweating. I was like, felt like I was dying. And I was like, what is the schedule? I will be back tomorrow.
There you go.
That's what's up.
I loved it.
That's what it's about.
It is.
Absolutely.
So as far as people who have maybe have a really low budget, what would your biggest tips be for people, even if it's not necessarily boxing, but if they don't have a budget for a fancy gym membership or something, how would you recommend that they get their body moving?
So this one's kind of funny because this is when I was talking about that phone call that I had with Steven when I was on the tour. Boxing is one of the best sports that's budget conscious, because if you want to try to be a boxer and you're at home with no equipment, all you need is a mirror, right? That's the first step. Looking in the mirror, learning those punches and working every day on that muscle memory. And then the other thing too is it's amazing what kind of conditioning you can get with a $6 jump rope. Right, a mirror
Very
and
true.
a jump rope, and you can get any kind of workout in. Boxing memberships generally are a lot lower than like a CrossFit membership and all that kind of stuff too. And just setting up a boxing gym in your garage. I mean, boxing equipment is not like other sports equipment. There's not a lot of pads involved other than the ones on your hands for the most part.
Right.
So that's just a great way to do it. You don't have to join a gym and you don't have to get a big heavy bag and all that stuff. I mean, you can learn what those punches are and get a jump rope and work in the mirror and you can get so good just by starting that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump rope, a good pair of running shoes, and a mirror. That's really all you need. And I would say this too, there's so much content available on Instagram and YouTube and just online in general these days that you can find a lot of stuff to work on for very, very cheap. Even some of the online courses are very affordable, because I know that there's some areas that don't have, what you're looking for in that area, or they don't have coaches with the expertise. Like Cody said, boxing equipment is generally cheap. Mm-hmm. You could get a heavy bag at Walmart and hang it in your garage or hang it out back, for $50-$60, and you don't really need a lot, and you can just learn a lot from what the coaches are posting on YouTube and Instagram, and you can get some good workouts in with that.
Yeah. I know we talked a little bit about having the discipline to show up for the classes and keep a schedule, but you two working in the music industry, very odd schedules. Every now and then you're probably up late and then up early and different places at all the time. How do you incorporate this into your life in such an industry that is kind of all over the place?
Man,
It's hard, huh?
We're not sure.
It ain't easy.
all I can say is I'm there every day. You just have to make it a part of everything. You know, when things come up, friends want to go watch a game or want to go grab a bite to eat. It's like, okay, I can, but it's going to be after this.
Sure.
You know, music industry, I'm typically working, you know, from 7 in the morning until 7 at night, or 24 hours just on call. Because, you know, with in the global music industry, stuff is going on.
Sure.
You know, like right now we're almost at, you know, noon in Australia and the Philippines and all of that.
Right.
So just always just showing up.
Right.
My biggest thing is half of it is showing up. If you show up, you're going to do what's ever put before you.
Sure.
But the hardest part is just getting there. Like I was saying, getting off the interstate or finding excuses with the laundry. No, if you show up and make it a point, because I'll tell you what, as soon as you don't show up and you decide to meet your friend for a happy hour or something, or you skip it, as soon as you miss that exit, you're going to end up sitting in traffic for an hour and you'll be like, dang, I wish I had gone off
just
there.
be working out
Could have been there. And then you feel bad. So just showing up to do it, making it a part of your everyday routine, like a job. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what it comes down to, is really the hustle of it, for lack of a better word. I mean, when I was out on tour and I was just doing boxing and not even the ownership part of it, that was hard enough to kind of figure out and just keep committed to, you know. And having a good boxing trainer that keeps you accountable, that, you know, tells you to get in and encourages you and all that stuff is huge, you know. So anyone that's got someone to help them with that journey too I would say, one of the most important things there is, because it's way easy to get yourself out of it, but it's a lot harder if you've got someone else trying to hold you accountable. And then as far as the ownership part of it, I mean, how we both make time for that, you know, it's just a lot of answering emails at midnight and doing our books on the weekends. And, you know, luckily,
we got a good team.
We have a great team. Yeah.
Between the four of us, like we handle it very well. And I think the main part of it is we all enjoy the sport so much, and that helps us make time. Like, you're going to make time for whatever you like.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
if you like going to games, if you like playing golf, if you like playing video games, you're going to make time for it. And so we enjoy it so much. And like Cody was saying, you know, to see people come so far and make the progress that they make, you want to be in touch with them and be like, hey, you know, when do you get back in town again? You know, when are you going to get back in here? Because one of the saddest things that I hate, one of the most heartbreaking things, is when either somebody moves or somebody says like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, because you see how far they've come in a sport like this. So finding that accountability too, like Cody said, and, you know, just because we enjoy it, we're going to always make time for the things we enjoy.
Absolutely. Discipline is a muscle.
It totally is. Yeah.
Like
So
my
true.
favorite phrase.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. So since you guys both work in the music industry, I'd love to hear a little more.
I work with frequency coordination, so I manage frequencies with like radios and mics and in-ears and all that kind of stuff. So we make sure those stay unaffected between other things.
Yeah.
Cody's done some cool stuff on the road. He's been to some of the biggest and most famous venues in the world, and he actually has a new really dope gig, like with the hat you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
Can you talk about it on this?
I can. Yeah. So one of the coolest things, you know, in life for me has been boxing and getting into this boxing gym. But then we were talking about kind of setting it up with the career that we both have too, which is in the music industry, where mine's more entertainment industry rather than just music.
Sure.
Right.
And so a company that I work with, we're working with Top Rank Boxing, who is basically one of the bigger boxing promotion companies out there.
Muhammad Ali was part of that one. So
Yeah.
Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing they got the deal with ESPN and everything. So
Hell yeah.
Yep. And so one of the companies I'm working for now, we're managing all the wireless on all the Top Rank shows. So now I get to go out and experience professional boxing and work and make a living. So
That's
it's
really
super grateful for that, man. It's one of the coolest things I think I've ever done. So
he's miking up world champions champs, even the ones that aren't fighting, that are there in the crowd or commentating or guest speakers. He's miking all of them up. So awesome. He gets to be around the best in the world, the best have ever done it. It's really cool.
Sweet.
It's a very cool thing.
Very cool.
It's so cool when you can finally make like multiple dreams that you have kind of merge into one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
Like a roadie and a boxer. What sense does that even make, right? But no, it's super cool, man. I can't be more grateful for that opportunity. It's a really, really fun project.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Steven, what do you do as your?
Yeah, I work for in a global music distribution and record label services company called Ditto Music. We do independent. We work with independent artists and independent labels. So we've been around for 15 years. My particular role involves some A&R scouting, finding some indie artists that are either developing, or maybe they've come off of a major label deal, or maybe they've just been so big and want to stay independent. And we work with them on a collaborative basis, do a lot of marketing, work with Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, all of that. And it's crossed over into the boxing world too. I've met a lot of cool people involved with this, and when they find out that you're a boxer, they kind of look at you a little different.
Put your hands up right away.
Yeah, sure. So it's funny you say that because one of them, if you're familiar with Waka Flocka Flame, we became good buddies over the past few years, to the point where every time he would see me, he would drop his bag and put his hands up. And
oh my gosh.
Waka's massive and his arms are huge, but he would put the gloves on. I'd hold mitts for him and everything, and tell him, if you drop that hand, I'm going to smack you in the face, and be like, about to smack one of my favorite rappers in the face right now. This is going to be great.
Dream? What a dream.
Yeah. So it's cool. But then there's been, I've come across other acts. There's this band out of Philly called Low Cut Connie that, one of their biggest claim to fame was the last year Obama was in office. Spotify let Obama curate a playlist, and out of the 50 tracks on there, Low Cut Connie was the only independent artist on there. So that earned them a trip to the White House. Next thing you know, Bruce Springsteen and Elton John are covering their songs and everything. And this is how this kind of wrapped around. The first artist I ever worked with out of Nashville with Ditto ended up becoming their backup singer last year. So they played a show in Memphis. I went down to see them, and turns out that the front man of Low Cut Connie, Adam Weiner, is a huge boxing fan from Philly, of course, and a lot of their marketing and their logos have boxing involved. So now anytime there's a big fight, we're messaging and everything, and I think he's coming through the couple days before Caleb's fight. Nice. So I'm gonna try to get him to come out to the show. He has another show, I think, in Chicago 2 days later. But it's just cool. A lot of people are boxing fans. It's making a comeback for sure.
That's awesome. Very cool. So we're going to go into our kind of rapid fire, if you will, questions.
They're not that rapid.
They're not.
You can take it.
You can take it.
I was about to say, there's a lot of YouTube videos with people answering rapid fire.
2 words, 1 word.
No.
They're
Maybe
not rapid fire at all.
Isn't the word for it.
Dara's making up new terminology.
It's fine. Sometimes I speak and then like words come out and then I think about it afterwards, so it's fine. But no, so what does self-care mean to you?
Oh man, holding yourself accountable. You got to take care of yourself. I guess that's a horrible using self-care in it.
You're not allowed to use self or care when you use the description.
That's right.
I mean, fair.
Routine. I'd say if you have to have a routine. I think a big routine is a nighttime routine. Taking care.
Gonna get to that.
Right? Taking care of your teeth.
Segue.
Take care of your eye. If you wear contacts, take them out. Brush, floss, all that skincare routines, and then just making sure that you're not completely, all the time putting bad stuff in your body, like eating wise, but everything in balance too.
Yeah, I think my word for it is just everything. Self-care is everything. If you don't feel good, inside and out, if you don't think you look the way you want to look, or if mentally you're not feeling the way you should feel, you're not going to do anything. Your career is going to be affected. Your relationship with your wife or your friends or any of that's going to be affected. And life just isn't that great if you're, not taking care of yourself.
Sure.
So, that's I think something that a lot of people use as a joke is, how not taking care of themselves they are, and that makes them cooler or tougher or whatever. And then
you don't
all of a
shower, bro?
sudden-
That's so tight.
right, yeah.
You haven't eaten broccoli
Yeah.
ever? Like, wow. Legend.
I also think right now we're in such a hustle culture that sometimes like it's really glorified to just be busy, and it's like, okay, but what are you doing with that busyness? Is it like good busyness, or are
Yeah.
you just filling every hour
Right.
of your day to fill every hour of your day?
Yeah.
So that's a good
Yeah.
point.
And you mentioned having a routine. Do you have a certain morning routine or evening routine that really either helps you set up for the day or unwind from it?
Yeah, I'd say mornings are bigger for me. I can say this, going from here to the gym, I don't eat dinner a lot. And if I do, it's very early. So breakfast is big for me. So I'm always, I get up pretty early. I like to have a lot of me time before I have to put on that face to the corporate world and all that. But, yeah, I'd say, nighttime, just unwinding, I like to do the whole, in the bathroom, taking care of myself, the teeth, the face, the eyes, everything. And but morning, I used to have a Keurig on my nightstand. So as soon as my alarm went off, I pushed that button, hit the snooze button on my alarm. 9 minutes later, I have a perfect temperature of cup of coffee, and I get up and
Brilliant.
yeah, right. But then I moved in with my brother, and the Keurig was not allowed to go on in my bedroom. So
My
But-
freshman
Get your own
roommate
Keurig.
had a coffee maker between our two beds, and she would always get up before I did. And it was amazing because there would always be coffee when I woke up, and I'd wake up to the smell of coffee.
makes you feel good.
Oh my gosh, it
it's
was
the best
incredible.
thing ever.
Yeah.
The best. What about you, Cody?
Man, so I kind of got two answers. The first one's super short.
You
and it's
can only
coffee.
have one.
Oh,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
well, then just coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, with my schedule and like a lot of these gigs, I'll be gone for a week or 10 days or 14 days or a month at a time.
Wow.
And then sometimes I'm home like I am now for 3 weeks. Luckily, my second answer is that my wife, who is also one of the co-owners of the gym, is incredible about exactly what we're talking about. She loves yoga and fitness, and so when we're home together, she really pushes that routine of like us being healthy and us eating together and making time for like not chaos, right? And having
Right.
nighttime to where we can just chill and kind of like get our mind right and talk about things, and we can go be healthy at the gym, and we can, all that stuff. So I would say that that's one of the biggest things for me when I'm at home, because it's really, really easy for any of the roadies out there know this. I mean, when you get home, you just want to be a pile, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sit around and do nothing,
Right.
which is understandable. I mean, we put a lot of hours in, but again, without that self-care, you can't do that next gig or go to that next thing or be who you want to be, So
True.
I
Right.
got to give the wife props on that one, because she helps me make that happen.
Shout out Andrea.
Thank you, honey.
So how do you do that while you're on the road? How do you kind of find balance and keep your activity up and stay in shape and keep yourself healthy while you're on the road?
It's so hard, man.
It is. I used to be a touring musician. I get it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, so then with like, the catering that you get or the craft services and all that stuff. I mean, if you're eating flat meat special 4 times a day, with like a piece of turkey on a stale piece of concrete bread, and that's what you've got on a 2-minute break in between sets or, in between rehearsals. And then, a lot of the times, we're getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning to be in at 6 for a 7 o'clock breakfast or whatever. And then we work through the night and do rehearsals and have a big show at night. Then you sleep and you do it all over again. So there's no real answer for this. Everyone has to kind of figure it out on their own and what time they can provide for that. But figuring out that time and not drinking, which sounds funny, but it's extremely hard. After a day of that kind of work, all you want to do is sit down and have a beer or go out with the guys and have a cocktail or whatever, and trying to get even that half hour in to get that heart rate up and to get working out or, get some boxing in your mirror in your bathroom with your $6 jump rope that you didn't need to spend any money on, right? Like no excuses at that point, right? It's a free workout. You've got the time, and you know that's the only way to do it, in my opinion. But it takes a lot. I mean, it's so hard to not do it.
Yeah, that's huge.
What is your pet peeves? Just give me 2. I'm just kidding. You're like, oh wow, waiting for you to ask. Let me get this list out.
People asking me unnecessary and stupid questions.
Okay.
Why'd you agree to this podcast then?
Oh man. Okay. The 2 pet peeves. One is when the plane lands and it pulls up to the gate and the seatbelt sign comes off and everybody, no matter where they're standing, stands up. It's like, yo, you can't move anywhere. And now I got, I'm sitting there on the aisle and I got everybody hovered around me like this. I feel so uncomfortable that like, just sit down. It'll get to you. You'll be fine.
Yes.
And then
That is such a good one. That's so unusual.
Another one involves transportation, but different. This one is elevators. When you're on an elevator and you get to the floor and the doors open and you're about to step off and somebody is in their own headspace and tries to step on, and that just irks me because it's more than just being in a rush. It's like
you're getting heated right now.
The world
really
revolves
upset.
around them at that point. They haven't even considered that there's somebody else on there, So
That's
yeah.
fair.
Did we trigger you?
We did.
Oh yeah, do you see how ready he is right now?
Yeah.
Oh man, I deal with it every day, and I'm like, y'all, like
22nd floor.
Like, could you not just wait a second? Do you not think that there might be someone else, or it is what it
pet
is?
peeves do you have for people that only have one floor?
Oh man, you bet. If you're on the second floor, you don't take the elevator. You take the stairs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great answer. Perfect.
Yeah, those are my 2.
Clearly.
This is why I wanted him to answer first, because that gives me time to change all mine. Because I had some like lame answers, man, and now I'm like,
Yeah, give us some good content. Come on now.
the airplane one is great because there's so many. The biggest one for me in an airplane is feet, y'all. Yo, stinky feet, your nasty feet. First of all, like, why? We're in a closed tuna can, right? Do you not think that the 70 people surrounding you are not going to be able to smell that or see it?
People who take their socks off and everything, shoes off,
right?
socks
or the
off.
worst one, I saw it on Southwest actually reposted it the other day. The dude had bare feet and he was in the front row and had them kicked up on like the wall there, right? So all 6 of them people are just like staring at this dude's raunchy, nasty feet.
I saw something like that. The TV, the touch screen in front, they were touching it with their toes. And
Oh, yes.
And you know Delta ain't wiping that down between flights either.
Disgusting.
At Delta, please wipe all of your screens.
Oh, man. I'm never watching a movie on that headrest again.
Right? I'm gonna be like, excuse me, ma'am. I need some like sanitizer.
Give me all of the antibacterial things. Everything you have.
Yeah, feet on the plane, man. That's a big one.
How about one more that is not travel?
Yeah, for all the people
That's
that
not
don't
on
travel
the plane.
for a living. This one I think everyone can get down with too. And this one I hope everyone goes, oh, yeah, you're right. People walking around every busy place, right? Mall, if you're walking in a restaurant, standing in line, and they're talking to someone on speakerphone.
Oh, man.
FaceTiming people.
Okay, I FaceTime sometimes, but like that's
So you're the
different.
problem. Everyone hates you,
know.
Dara.
You can't be standing in Chipotle talking to your significant other, and they're laying in bed, right? And you got like 17 people behind you, and they're all just like staring at this like bed face going on. I'll get chicken with that burrito.
The speakerphone thing is...
It's awful, man.
Yeah.
I cannot handle the speaker.
At Dara Sweat. Knock it off.
You know what? I'm not ever in line at
that's a call
Chipotle on FaceTime, but like, like I might be like walking in a park or like, but usually I'll be like, hey, I'm like at the mall, like, can I call you back? Or, you know what I mean? But like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
I feel
Are you gonna
I'm
cut this
Thank you for
podcast
calling
in
her
half
I'm
out.
now?
triggered now. Like, now I'm upset. This is my pet peeve. Podcast is over. I'm leaving.
Dara doesn't like being called out. That is her pet peeve.
No, it's okay. You can call me out. I like the attention.
The world revolves around Dara.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. So cool. So what are some things that you splurge on and what are you cheap on?
Oh, let's just talk about in the boxing world. I'm going to splurge on equipment, specifically gloves. You never want to cut corners with gloves, just like people who, want to cut corners with tires. These are your hands. And I tell when people ask, what kind of gloves should I get? What price range? I'm like, I'm not buying gloves that are less than $150. Wow. Now, if they're on sale, but they normally retail for $150. But typically when you get to the level that we're at, it's $200 and up. Wow. And there's some gloves that even go as high as $400 or $500 and everything. But
it was cool with my like $30 gloves, like white and gold. I was like, hey,
you start. We all started with those, and then you learn after 3 or 4 months that and I know some people that they have bought the $30-$40 gloves, over a span of 2 years. They've probably spent probably got 8 or 9 pair. They could have got one really good pair for $200. The whole I'm too broke to be cheap type of thing. Right. That's my mentality with boxing. So I'm gonna splurge on gloves. I'm gonna splurge on shoes and a mouth guard. None of those, in the beginning, definitely get the Boyle one, whatever. Mm-hmm. When you want to take it to the next level, get the mold of your teeth, send it in, that type of thing.
What are you cheap about?
Well, I was going to have Cody talk about what you splurge on. Then I was going to, I got to think about what I'm cheap about. Yeah.
See, I always take my answers from yours though. So now you're completely messing up my flow. Splurge, 2 biggest things, food. Total foodie. I moved to Nashville the day after I graduated high school. Super poor. No money, right? Paid rent with credit cards for years.
My dude.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh man, but so I can tell you how to make a dope bowl of bagged ramen, right, with a cracked egg in it and all that for less than $1, right?
There we go.
We can do all that. But now that we've been through that, going out and doing some food right, man, especially in all the cities we get to go to and all that kind of stuff, man, it's so great to be able to do that. Boxing equipment, I would definitely second that one. And then being in my industry, just gadgets, man. Like I've got gadgets everywhere.
Go gadget.
Total tech nerd, man. Like microphones, computers, interfaces, electronic drum sets, just anything that is like cool and techy. Granted, they all help me with my job. I mean, we've got some very high-end, equipment and gear that we have to use to get our
write it off as a business expense, baby. There you go. That's how we do it.
There you go.
So definitely splurge on equipment and gear, man. All the fun toys out there, man. Technology is beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. What are y'all cheap about?
I'm cheap on clothes. I do not care. What you see me wearing right now, I have like 3 of these, and that's all I own. I own nothing but tracksuits.
It's an Adidas tracksuit for those of y'all that can't see right now.
At the end of the day, I don't care about fashion trends. I don't care about any of that because I'm typically. With my day job, I can wear whatever I want, and then I'm always going to the gym, so I might as well be comfortable.
Right.
Also, wearing a tracksuit all the time, you're always ready for whatever life throws at you.
You could literally always run anytime. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it. If it hits the fan, then I'm ready. Also, people see you.
Happens.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
A line comes down Broadway or something, you can run away from it.
Yeah, finning off the Bachelorettes on Broadway.
Right, yes.
Also, I'll just say this: if I'm meeting some friends out and I'm wearing a tracksuit, that's the guy you do not want to pick a fight with or get into a dance off with.
Whoa.
So,
whoa, I'm learning something here.
Right?
Dance off.
Oh yeah.
All right.
But to bring it all around, I'm cheap with clothes. I'm good with like some $30 Levi's and a t-shirt, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't need to I have like 10 things in my closet and I just rotate them. But I'm doing laundry all the damn time. So
I was just saying, no wonder why you're doing laundry all the time.
But it's all one load worth, so
There you go. There you go.
One load that you have to do every other day.
Right.
roadies are notoriously known for cheap on clothes too, because everything that we own was given to us.
Right.
Right. I have one color in my closet and it's black t-shirts.
Black on black
They
on
all
black on
say
black.
crew on them too, right? Nothing is any different. It's all black t-shirts. You know, the hoodie I got on is from I don't even think I bought this from us, right? It's a
Right,
Music
yeah.
City Boxing hoodie, and I just took it. So definitely closed, because that would be a roadie staple there.
Nice.
All right, so
What
we
do
have
you-
one last
No,
question.
we have
I
two.
think. Do we have two more?
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you let me lead?
well.
Do we need to bust out the gloves? Have y'all duke it out?
Now I got triggered. So like now,
Remember that one time I said the world revolved around Dara?
I mean, I'm glad that we're back there. I'm glad
Ding,
we're,
ding,
we're just
ding.
like solidifying it. I'm just kidding. What is something that y'all nerd out about
Oh yeah.
aside from boxing and tracksuits?
I'm about to embarrass
Something you
myself
do for
here.
work.
Oh, I can't wait.
What do you nerd out about that you don't do for work?
Are y'all familiar with the oh god,
You don't even want to say.
the global sensation that is Pokemon Go?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Forgot about Pokemon Go.
Well, me and all the other nerds in the world have not. We are going strong. Yeah, that
We're still here.
So how many Pokemon are in this building right now?
well, I mean downtown.
Not
there's,
anymore.
Yeah,
Steve
right. I
got 'em
caught them all. They actually over the weekend they introduced some new ones to the game. The app is very smart. They, I'm sure y'all remember like when it became a big epidemic in I think it was like June 2016.
Yeah.
They didn't really know how big it was going to be, and even like Apple designed their newest at the time their newest Apple Watch to help one of the biggest apps, most popular apps in the world. So they the creators of it. They didn't know how big it was going to be. So I would say, a year and a half later, maybe 2 years later, they finally caught up to how they wanted the game to be, their initial vision, and they had the technology behind it and everything. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good community, and I nerd out on Pokemon Go.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh man, I like all the fighting Pokemon. I name them all after fighters too. So you have
they all
like.
don't
Isn't
fight,
every
though?
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon
Yeah, I thought they all-
designed to be
Well, okay, so there's
some sort?
different. How far down the rabbit hole y'all want to go? You have your water type, your fire, grass, electric, and all that. Then you have some weird ones like you have your
Sounds
dark.
like utilities.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your water, you got your electric, like everything you need to live on.
all those utilities
All
you're
of
paying
them.
every month.
Then you have some weird ones. You have like your steel Pokemon and your rock and your fairy, but they have fighting Pokemon. So there's like Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. You have Machop, Machoke, and Machamp, Poliwrath. So you can name them all in the game. I name them after pro fighters. So the one that Poliwrath, I'll show you all a picture of him after this, because they incorporated taking pictures of your Pokemon now. But I named him Mike Tyson because he resembles Mike Tyson. No neck, just all head and arms and everything.
Nice.
But,
Anyone else regretting that question?
right? Is it? Yeah. So
I
is
was
this a
I was
Pokemon
Jigglypuff
Go
fan,
podcast
so-
now?
Jigglypuff and what? Eevee was the other one, the one that looked like a fox or whatever.
Yeah. Eevee goes hard.
I just collected the cards. I never actually played the game.
So I was big in the cards. I was big in the cards as a kid and everything. But it also stems for back in 2015 when I got involved with Music City Boxing is when I decided to take some time off for drinking, and since then I've been sober. So that's what a lot of sober people do. They
play Pokemon Go.
play Pokemon Go, and virgins. A lot of the sober people and the virgins. So you can see
Sober
me.
virgins are playing Pokemon Go.
You can see me at Centennial Park with all the nerds and the sober people and the virgins. So I'm sorry, I've spiraled. I'm gonna let Cody go. What do you nerd out on?
I'm not even answering anymore. Keep talking about Pokemon.
Oh man!
All right.
What do you nerd out on, Cody?
My answer is gonna suck.
You
compared
can't
to
top that, but
Yeah,
go ahead and
there's
try.
no topping it. And I'm going to be boring, too, because it's technology again. I totally nerd out on technology, man. I just get, geeky and nerdy about, like, helping people with all their online stuff.
So software or hardware with gadgets or
All
with
the
apps?
above,
Yeah.
man. I love incorporating it all,
Both
like finding
soft and
things.
hard.
Hardware that works with.
Yes.
What are your most recent faves as far as like gadgets that you've just found or bought recently?
Oh, it's all like crazy like production gear and stuff like that. It's not like a lot of prosumer stuff or consumer type stuff, but yeah.
The ultimate roadie setup.
The ultimate roadie setups, yeah. There's multi-million-dollar console out there, and spectrum analyzers that fit in your hand that cost $50,000, and all those cool little.
I want
gadgets,
a spectrum analyzer.
Right? Yeah. I want a spectrum analyzer, but just nerdy stuff, man. That's I've always been about just playing with things.
Yeah.
Very cool.
See,
very
no
cool.
one laughed at that one. It's no Pokemon.
I mean,
I laughed.
That was just so over the top.
that
you
was
just kept
good.
going.
That was great.
It's okay. All right, Ellen, you can go ahead. You may now wrap up with the last question.
All right. So what are each of your favorite band and like type of music?
Okay, I gotta go with two right now. So I listen to everything. I'm a big fan of everything. I work a lot of indie and indie pop music. A lot of that kind of left of center, or just put the word alternative in front of any genre, and that's the type of stuff that I work. And I'm a big fan of music.
Cool.
At the end of the day, Jeezy, the artist formerly known as Young Jeezy, out of Atlanta, my favorite rapper. Just the most motivating music is for his first album, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101, that came out in 2005. I mean, whether you are selling drugs or you are delivering pizzas, that will motivate you. And it is just some of the hardest Atlanta trap sound. Like, I need to hear stuff that slaps, and that definitely slaps. And the other one would be this one may rub people the wrong way, but Kanye West. Say what you want to say about him, but
Yes, I love him.
Kanye's great. And yes, there is new Kanye that's gone, off the charts, but he still has all those other albums that were great. So, but
Not a fan of the new album then?
I kind of like it. I listened to it the morning it came out, because it was supposed to come out the day before. So I listened to it, in bed. I was like,
Classic Kanye.
it's like this is only 27 minutes long. All right, let me drink my coffee and I'll listen to it. But I like Kanye and Jeezy. Those are my favorites.
Do you listen to them while you play Pokemon Go?
Yes, I do actually.
While playing Pokemon Go at the boxing gym.
I would have my AirPods in, listening to Spotify, listening to Jeezy or Kanye while catching Pikachus in the park.
Love it.
Do Pokemon live at Music City Boxing?
Unfortunately, we are not a Pokemon gym or a Pokestop. The closest one is the corner pub on 51st. But I know some coffee shops that if you were that were gyms, and if you were blue, yellow, or red team that was owning the gym at the time, they would give you a discount. So I don't know. It may
Music City Boxing discount if you own the blue Pokemon.
Let's get these nerds in shape, right?
So they can catch more Pokemon.
That's me.
What about you, Cody? What's your favorite music, favorite band?
I'm a metalhead at heart. I love just metal music.
You just like having a headache all the time.
That's how it goes with everyone. Like, how do you do this, right? Like, I can be driving in traffic, I could be hanging out by myself, I could be in the boxing gym, and I will listen to metal music at 100. Clarity and chaos, man. I think I work better with just that stuff going on. I think well with it. I like it. It just doesn't freak me out like it does a lot of people, which is cool.
Yeah, it like puts my anxiety through the freaking roof.
It does. My wife is not stoked about it a lot of the times, but we figured out some good common grounds there, so that
There you
works.
go. I like when you play it in the gym.
Yeah. I mean, it's great music, and there's a lot of
upbeat.
talent in it too. People don't realize how talented a lot of those guys are.
I was just
to
gonna
play.
say, the music, the whatever they're doing with their fingers on the guitar and everything else, love it. I'm not a fan of the screaming parts, but there is metal music that it's heavy hard on the music side of things, and then the lyrics are softer, or not softer, but then the singing,
actual melody.
Yeah. But I mean, the guitar solos and the drum solos and everything else that goes into that, epic music.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
I would say that's my favorite. As far as a band goes, I mean, kind of to second what he was saying, as long as it's got soul, I love it. I mean, it doesn't have to be metal. As long as it sounds like people cared about it, it sounds like people put their art into it, then I'm into it and I like it. I went through a big weird thing in high school, like a lot of people did. I was a Blink-182 fangirl to the death.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Dressed like them, right? Wanted tattoos like them, did my hair like them. I mean, just fangirl, man. Disgusting. But, still got a special place in my heart for them, but definitely a metalhead.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for taking the time to sit with us and talk about, boxing, wellness, and kind of keeping that balance in your life and, a little bit about yourselves as well. It's been great. We've had a lot of fun.
For sure. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Yeah, this was awesome. We had a lot of fun with this.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. If you haven't already, follow us on all social at Beyond Broken Hungry across pretty much all platforms, and stay tuned for next week's episode with Nashville comedian Kyra Madison. See you next Tuesday.